still got it. How's it going, everybody? I timed it pretty good that time, considering I'm a little out of practice, hey? How's it going? Blade, you get number one. How's it going, buddy? And Joel, Javier, awesome. Thanks, guys. Thanks for being here. Sorry it's been so long. Every time I say I'm going to make life less busy, life does not cooperate. Go figure. Go figure. How you guys doing? What's been happening? Oh, yeah. Oh, somebody just remembered to subscribe. I can't see who it was. I'm going to try and make some things a little bit bigger here. Can you hear me okay? Not too loud, not too quiet, not too echoey. All right, let me get a couple things going here. Oh, man. He is alive. Yes. Yes, yes, yes. I like to think I'm not really that busy, but I am. And just different times of life, you know, different times of life, different things kind of creep up on you and take some priority. But I'm happy to be here today. Happy to be here today. All right, we got to do a couple things here because this, I feel like, I'm sorry, I'm a bit vain about this, but I feel like I look very presidential in my orangeness. So I got to work on this camera stuff a little bit because I think I got some white balance issues or something. Maybe I'm overly white. All right, so Good Enough's here. How's it going, man? There we go. I'm a little more pink, a little less orange. Better, 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 better. I do exist, Marsh. How's it going, dude? How's it going? I have not forgotten about was it you, Marsh, I was talking to about sending some malfunctioning devices for diagnosis, for the post-mortem analysis? I have not forgotten. I thought I sent some, but maybe, well, I always have more. In fact, I have 3 boxes over there of things that got returned I need to sort through. So I want to hear, before we start talking about anything about me or what I'm doing or what's new, I want to hear from you guys for a minute. Just tell me what's going on. What kind of projects you're working on? What's the latest and greatest? What's the fun stuff, you know? Have I got rid of Alexa? I actually, yes. I have, personally for myself, I have unplugged my Alexa and the Google Home too, actually. And I only have my Home Assistant voice. Especially when Alexa says it's going to be $20 a month for AI. So I was talking to some friends about that. This is like the first time in a long time that we've been able to say, well, I don't know, maybe I was going to say that there's a, bag it. I was going to say something about a cheaper option or something, or a better option. But what I was telling them, my friends that I was talking to, we were talking about the whole Alexa thing and $20 a month for Alexa Plus or whatever they're calling it. And how I said, well, you know what, actually, like, paying for Home Assistant, well, I don't know if you have to pay for the Home Assistant for the Home Assistant Cloud for Nabu-Casa, but the way I set mine up is with ChatGPT as backup. And I haven't looked at it in a while, but I assume that it hasn't used very much. I hooked it up with ChatGPT, and you have to put in like a $10, you have to put at least $10 in your account or something like that. And then every time whoa, there's my lights. Every time it runs a query, that's weird. I wonder why that just barely turned on. Every time it runs a query, it charges, a few cents. You could do a lot of ChatGPT querying before you add it up to $20 a month, which is what Alexa wants to charge you to add those kinds of things. You haven't opened the box yet, so good enough. Oh, you ought to. It's good. It's actually quite good. And when you do it, I don't remember who had the best video now, but there was good videos out there about setting up the ChatGPT backup part. Or, I say backup, it's not really backup. It's the ChatGPT for all the stuff that are outside of the Home Assistant thing. So normally if you're going to ask Home Assistant things, what's the temperature in the garage, or, tell Home Assistant voice to do things like turn off the lights or turn on the lights or set this mood or do those kinds of things that you can program in Home Assistant. But if you wanted to do the outside things like how tall is Tom Cruise, those kinds of things, Home Assistant's not going to answer that for you automatically. But what it does, the way you set it up is if you have the ChatGPT backup set up, then if there's something that you ask that it can't get from Home Assistant, then it takes the voice command or whatever it was that you said, that it sorted out that you said, and it just submits that to ChatGPT, and then it reads the answer. This was really cool. It's like, it's better than, to me, it's better than Alexa or Google because it's not trying to sell you anything. It's just giving you the information right out of ChatGPT when you don't have the answer in Home Assistant. So I thought that's a pretty good way to do it. Free for Prime members, $120 a year. Oh, I don't think it is. I don't think it is. Not anymore. There's this new thing. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I'm wrong about that, Blade. I thought when I saw it and it said, why am I in caps? New Alexa is coming. When I saw it and I saw it was $20 a month, I thought it was an addition. Oh, free with Prime. Okay, sorry, you're right. Forgive me. I saw this $19 a month, and I thought that was going to be an addition to Prime. But you're right, I was wrong. So, anyways, you have Olama on an AI. Well, there you can do that too. Obviously, yeah. You got mad skills though, so good enough. Not everybody has those skills. I don't have those skills. I don't have any intention at this point in running any AI model off my home hardware. Maybe someday. Probably my kids will probably set it up. Jackson, our oldest, he's doing software engineering in college, and he's doing a lot of AI stuff. And so I would not be surprised if he encourages me to do that. Right? He'll say, "Oh, Dad, you're just gonna do this," and blah, 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 and he'll set it up, and then I don't have to pay ChatGPT. But thank you, Blaine. I was wrong. I was bagging on Amazon for charging us $20 for their AI answers. But I guess if you have Prime, it's going to be included. I wonder how much is Prime still? Prime's $120 a year now. I know I've had Prime since I was in medical school. It's been a long time. I've given them a good bit of money. Really easy to set up. You just have to have a really big GPU all the time. Yeah. Ooh. That is not a Dr. Pepper, eat my nose. Awesome shirt. Thank you. Makes up for the skills deficit. Thank you, John. It's warm here today. It's warm here today. I could not put on a hoodie. I had to go Hawaiian today. But we're going to have some more cold weather before it gets hot for good, I think. I didn't know they were charging now. I have Prime, so I never noticed. Yeah. I didn't either. Well, I read the article. That was how it happened. So anything else? What else is going on? I want to tell you guys a couple things. So Voop Voop from Norway. How's it going, Frode? Dubai. Mike, you're in Dubai. How is Dubai? Is it as awesome as it looks in the pictures? I'm sure it can't be that awesome, right? I mean, it's probably pretty awesome though. I'd like to see it someday. The first home automation thing I bought, then you found me. Oh, nice, Raspy. Got rid of. Oh yeah, you already asked me that. Yep. All right, so let's talk about a few things. I want to tell you about quick thing right off the top. Before we get to this, I'll give you a little bit of a preview of Permatrack changes. We're going to 24 volt pixels. 24 volt pixels. So I think that's amazing. I think that's awesome. And that's going to start pretty soon. I think we should get our first batch of 24 volt all-in-one control boxes here in the next few weeks. And then we'll have packs of, I mean, the track doesn't change, thankfully, but the pixels, we'll have packs of 24 volt pixels now, or 12 volt. People still want 12 volt. We're going to probably phase out at 12 volts and just go to 24. And that should really eliminate a lot of the power injection. It'll be interesting to see with 24 volt pixels. You guys can tell me how much of it, if you guys have dealt with a lot of 24 volt pixels. My concern is just you're obviously adding more circuitry in there. You're probably, I don't know, maybe at more risk of having malfunctions. But in general, I think they're going to probably be very reliable. And the big benefit of not needing to do power injection and not having data loss and flickering and all that stuff is going to be massive. So very excited about doing that. Very interesting when WLED could run on a NAS as service with the web page. Oh, and WLED could run on a NAS service with the web page. Yeah, WLED on a NAS. Well, WLED is the direct software on the controller that is plugged into the LEDs. So if you wanted to do that, like you could do it. I don't know if you could run it on like a Pi, but the point I'm making is you need to have the data pin outputs from the NAS if that's what you were going to do, because I guess you could do it. Maybe if what you're thinking is you have it running there and then it's communicating or syncing with all of your other devices. I don't know if that's. I bet you there's a better way to do what you're thinking, Mike. I bet there's a better way. It's the industry standard. Yeah. It's, everybody's been doing 12 volts for so long that I think going to 24, you're going to have a mix now, because there's a lot of really, really good 12 volt pixels still out there. So if you have in the past had 12 volt pixels and you have a 12 volt controller, then you're going to want to get more 12 volt pixels. But if you are starting new, or as you're expanding, going to 24 volts is going to be hopefully quite a bit of an advantage. A lot, less current going through the wires on getting there and all that kind of stuff. So it should be pretty good. So we'll see. Very excited about that. Number 2, let's talk about this. Pow! The QuinLED An-Penta-Deca. You guys saw Quindor's video on Friday where he released this. I know a lot of you did, because I think we sold like 30 of them before I even got them in stock. They are here now. I don't have one on my desk because I've got about 5 boxes down there and I haven't even opened them to dig through to get the An-Penta-Decas out from among all the other things. But I've got them here now in the house, and we will start packing them up and shipping them out. I know a lot of you bought them on Friday, so thank you for that. I guess this is let's talk about the An-Penta-Deca. So as you can imagine, it's a Penta-Deca. I don't know if it's got, if I understand it right, 15 outputs, right? Configured with 15 individual controllable LED strips. So these are just white strips, but look how he did this. Quindor's amazing. Look how he put all these LED strips in one of those like corner channels. This is like the 90-degree corner channels. I think he's got 5 strips. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 different strips. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 different strips in each of those channels, and then 5 over here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 loose strips hanging out there. So 15 individually controllable LED strips off of one controller. And it comes with WLED, but interestingly, I thought it was very interesting, and I need to talk to him about this and see what he's got. Maybe we can poke around the website and see. He might show up. He knows I'm doing this today, I think. I know it's hard to predict these days when I'm so inconsistent, but he usually pops in on times like this, especially when there's a new device out. What was I saying? He likes to run ESP Home, which to me makes fantastic sense. Fantastic sense, because if you're running mostly white strips, or cool / warm white adjustable kinds of strips, even if you're running mostly LED strips, then this is a great controller for a room, like a regular room, where you're just going to have desk light and ceiling lights and fan lights and this light and cabinet lights and some of that stuff. So this is a great thing for that. And then it does have some ability to do RGB as well, similar to the An-Penta. What was it called? The An-Penta Plus. Similar to the An-Penta Plus, where you can have some RGB LEDs connected as well. So you could do I think, if I'm understanding right, yeah, here it is. 5 RGB strips, 3 RGB W strips, and 3 RGB CCT strips. So that's The CCT is the cool white. Is that right? That's the cool versus the warm white. Here, what are we blowing up today? Awesome. How's it going, Dr. 44? The pink one. I am the pink one. I am the pink one. I was orange earlier. I had to fix it. So this is a crazy capable controller. Crazy. Wrong live stream. Oh yeah, the pink one is somebody else. Who's the pink one? You guys told me that before. Or the pink one is somebody else that's in the chat. I remember that. Tell me about what that was again. I forget. I'm not the. I am pink. I am pink. I'm not white. I'm very pink. So anyways, I'm excited about this. Every time he comes out with one of these, I think, oh, that's what I need at the Hobbit house. That's what I need to do. So the next Hobbit house or whatever, this is the way to do lighting. So I'm excited about that. I wonder about, Jor. Yeah, he's the pink one. Are you the pink one, Jor? I don't know. I don't know who's the pink one. Tell me. Who's the pink one? Johnny is still the pink one. Okay. So I have these. They're in stock. The link should work. Here's the board's buying page. I need to get on here. I need to grab some more of these images and put them on my page as well. But so $39.99. This is the time to talk about this. Unfortunately, I have to bring this up now. Well, so worldwide store, my store, and now if you're in Canada, you've got Jerem's. So he's got a store now in Canada, so that's great for Canada folks. US is me. Worldwide is you can still go to Alnet. $39.99. So I'm still keeping my day job. This is a great thing. It supports my habits, my hobbies, my goofballness. I'm not trying to make a gajillion dollars, but I noticed that I hadn't been really accounting for customs. I would get my price sheet from Quindor and I would base my pricing off of that, and then I hadn't been accounting for customs, which was already seems like about 10% based on looking back at the records that I pulled out. And now, of course, we have some new tariff fees. So if you go to buy an An-Penta-Deca right now, you'll notice that it's a few dollars more than it was on Friday, because I had to make adjustments. And unfortunately, I had to go through and make adjustments to everything in the store because with the new tariffs and finally accounting for the previous customs charges that I hadn't really been accounting for. Fortunately, I wasn't losing on too many things, but we're talking less than $1 margin on some things. So I had to make some adjustments. I'm sorry for that. I was happy to see that, it'd been a long time since we had to adjust the prices on anything. Everything's going up. The components and all those things are costing more. Shipping, etc. It's all costing more. And we know you feel the pain like the rest of us of everything costing more, but not really earning any more money generally somehow. So we try to keep it in a good range where it can be worthwhile to do for us. But still be a reasonable price for you guys. So anyways, I apologize. That's my speech on freaking tariffs. If we had, I understand the reason. I don't want to get political, right? But I understand the reason. I understand why they do it. And well, at least in my mind, hopefully the reason is to try and encourage things to be made locally, to employ people locally, and whether that's the U.S. or whether it's somewhere else, whatever. Another country can do the same kind of things, but obviously we're talking about the U.S. here a bit. But the fact is, adding a 10% tariff to these products does not hurt. It maybe eventually hurts China a little bit, because if I can't sell stuff, then I stop buying stuff, and then that hurts them, I suppose. But it's not like I can go to a different supplier. It's not like I can go and get the components for this here in the U.S. anywhere, right? Nothing on here hardly is even made here in the United States. Forget about the whole thing as a package. The components that go on the boards, the PCBs themselves. I mean, there's probably a few PCB manufacturers, but just the idea that you can tariff your way into immediately or quickly switching to U.S. manufacturing you're just hurting us more, to me. You're hurting me for sure, because I have to look at this and now go, okay, is this viable? Do I get to keep doing this, or is it not worth it anymore? Anyways, getting off my rant a little bit, but I wish if we had local alternatives, I would be very happy about it, but we don't. So we're doing what we got to do. There's Quindor. I'll net Antarctica. I like it. Cheap labor. How much do penguins make an hour? All right. Quindor was just going through this, telling everybody, we just went through the pricing thing if you didn't hear. Just kind of telling everybody the tariff woes and the adjustments I had to make, and apologies. And, we're doing a pretty good job of keeping things pretty low, and have for a long, long time, but we had to make some adjustments. I didn't grab one of these out of the box yet. I have them. They're here, and we'll start filling orders hopefully tonight. But I'm excited about this. I'm excited. This thing's awesome. So great work, man. Great work. I loved your video on it, by the way. And since you're here, now's the time to ask. You mentioned in your video, Quindor, about you really like running ESP Home on here. I assume you have the ESP Home sketch available somewhere for people to install it on there if they want it, because I would do the same. I think a controller like this is great for mostly white LEDs with a little bit of RGB, and ESP Home can do that little bit of RGB. You don't necessarily need WLED, with the ability to run a matrix and stuff. You could, and that'd be great. You could do that. But I think if you did the majority of the lighting that you're using this for on with white LED strips, then it makes a lot of sense to make it integrated with Home Assistant. That's when you're going to be turning on and off the lights and all that kind of stuff. So if you have the ESP Home sketch here somewhere, where is it? Maybe it's on here. Also great for ESP Home. ESP Home example for An-Penta-Deca. I haven't finished yet, but can adapt the one from the An-Penta Plus. Okay, cool. Cool. So you have it on the An-Penta Plus page, but you'll put it here. Yes, I did fix Nightbot. Yes, good job. Thanks, sir. Good enough. What's the weather like in Preston, Idaho? Is that how you do it? Weather, and then just the town. There's probably more than one Preston. $45, yeah, cold. Oh, now everybody's doing it. The outlook is good. Awesome. All right, so anyways, great job, Quindor, on the An-Penta-Deca. Excited to see it. I wish I could. I need somebody that can just come to my house and do all of my smart home stuff that I haven't got a chance to do yet. Is that Preston, Idaho now? And Preston somewhere else? 8-Ball, will Doc let out the magic smoke today? I hope not. I hope not. I haven't done, I haven't had to do any like real hands-on tinkering too much, or at least if I have, it hasn't been too dangerous or too smoke provoking, as it were, as it had been in the past. So awesome. Yeah. An-Penta-Deca. Check it out. Come get one. Another thing that I wanted to talk about, which I don't remember if we covered or not. I think what we did was we talked about Apollo automation when it comes to or when we were talking about the last stream, when we were talking about CES, right? I'm going to turn this off so I don't burn anybody's retinas, mine included. And we talked about Apollo, and I told you I met up with the Apollo guys and that I was going to start carrying Apollo sensors in the Dr. Z's store. And I have, and they're there now, but I didn't tell anybody. I didn't like make an announcement or anything, which is great for business. But they're there now. I think if I open up, it might show my back page. No, there it is. Should be fine. Dr. Z/shop. Okay, great. So we now have a little bit more, like a little bit of more organization stuff. And this isn't not finished yet, but Home Assistant devices are coming. I'll be able to do that soon, but that's not official yet. But I will have Home Assistant devices, including the voice and the green and whatever else new stuff they come up with. But that's still in the works. Again, custom stuff, honestly, is what screwed this up real bad. Or not customs, but basically the importation parts is really, really complicated. More complicated than you think it ought to be. And then we have LED controller page. It's got all the LED controller stuff on it. And now we're going to have it, or now we have a sensors page. And then it still shows some of the most new or most common or whatever things here. So if we go to the sensors page, we do have some of, but not yet exactly all of the Apollo sensors. But they've got the Air 1 sensor, the MSR sensor, and the MTR sensor. Most of the information. Oh, and the plant sensor. The plant sensor that has the you have a battery plant sensor or a regular plant sensor as well. Moisture sensor. So pretty awesome, pretty good things. And I've been running one. I still have this Air 1 from one they sent me a while back. And I've got the presence sensors running, and I have one up at the Hobbit house now as well running. And I was looking at it today because we were up there this weekend. I was looking at it today to see how it did, and it's really actually pretty reliable when you use it. It kind of has a combination of ways, I guess, to detect, and when you do it that way, it's pretty reliable as far as is there somebody there, is there not somebody there. And then they just came out with these, and we can take a look at these. I do have these on my desk here too. I don't have them in the store yet, but temperature sensors. So here's like a temperature sensor that you can like stick, like, I guess this may be inside the fridge, but they've got this cool little magnetic snap-on thing. It's kind of neat. Hold on. All right, let's look at these up close here too. So they've got one that's a battery powered one right here. And then they've got one that plugs into USB-C. So depending on your application and stuff, you can decide where you want it. If I go to my desk camera, whoop, here we go. So this is the battery powered one. This little thing here, these are all 3D printed. These guys are geniuses. These guys are amazing. I mean, I love it. I love what they're doing. This is a 3D printed case. They're looking at, I'm sure they're going to, before too long, get, a way to make these kinds of things in I don't know if it's injection mold. I'm not sure exactly what they're going to do, but they're going to be able to do it. Maybe it's with different 3D printers or better, faster. I don't know, but they're flawless, really. You can tell it's 3D printed if you know what you're looking for, but they're flawless. And then they've 3D printed this awesome little guy, which has a really strong magnet in it. And it can snap on to, I think it snaps onto either one of them. Yeah, it can snap onto either one of them. And it will hold the sensor up against the whatever metal thing, right? Or hold this whole device up against the little metal thing. Oh, come on, get me. There it goes. Yeah, so it just kind of goes on there. It's got a little bit of, just enough of a lip that it sticks. And then the magnet just, whoop, sticks onto the fridge or whatever metal thing you want it to stick onto. So it's awesome. I mean, they're really, really smart about how they do this. And then the battery powered ones, show you this. And they come with ESP Home. They were actually remarkably easy and fast to set up. I just couldn't wait. I just couldn't wait to set it up. I just had to do it. So I did set it up off stream. I apologize, but I had to. So the temperature sensor, if you wanted an external, there's a sensor on here, if I recall. There's a sensor on here, but then you can also put on a sensor probe like this or longer ones, and depending on your application and stuff. And that just plugs into this like 5mm jack here. This one has USB power. I don't know if you can charge the battery from this. I would have to ask them that. But this just uses one of these batteries. I did get a rechargeable one that has, these are pretty nice. These are from Amazon. It's a rechargeable battery, but it just has the charger is just kind of built in here. You just plug USB-C into this, and then that's how you charge it. So you don't have to buy a whole separate charger and stuff. And they just little bits of genius. Like, look at how they made the battery picture so that you know which way the battery goes. It doesn't even it's not even plus minus, so you have to look here, which is the plus? It's just like, oh, battery shaped this way, battery little nipple on one side. Nipple goes towards nipple. Oh boy, there goes YouTube monetization. Whew. Woo-wee. All right. What do you guys have questions about these things? Let's let me see. I wonder if I should. Yeah, that's good enough. Anyways, so this is the same battery that they use in some of the other sensors too, I think. Oh, this is the same battery that they use in their. They have like a Christmas ornament that they do, which is really cool. They do it to raise money, and they'll do another one next year. But basically, it's a PCB with some lights, and then you put one of these kind of batteries in it, and it's a Christmas tree ornament. Pretty cool. On the plant sensor, they actually use a 18650 battery on there instead. But we can let's look at what the Air does on Home Assistant. And this has a little LED too as an indicator there if you want to use, want to indicate what's going on with the LED. Let's look at the Air sensor in Home Assistant. So here's the Air sensor, and I'm pretty sure this one has like the whole thing. This is like detecting everything. You bought a Christmas tree? Did you? From them? From Apollo? That's awesome. Yeah, this right here was this thing. Oh, how do I find it? How do I get it? They might not be selling them right now. They might not be selling them because they, it's not Christmas, but yeah, I think they may have taken it off. But he said that every year they're going to do another one. They're going to do a different one every year. And it's just they donate the money that they make off of these particularly, but it's just fun, and they'll do different shapes. So they'll do screen. Here it is. This is what they had, but right now I don't think they're selling them right now. I think they might have sent me the last one that they had. Yeah, cool stuff. Cool stuff. Cool guys. Happy to support them. Happy to try and spread the. Spread their ability to spread their audience. Let get some more people out there. So, let's go to Home Assistant now. A couple things I want to show you on my Home Assistant. Okay, we've had some updates here. Those are their pick your price on the Christmas trees. Oh, that's fantastic. That's the best. I love that because if you're donating the proceeds anyways, that's beautiful. I love that. Oh man, I'm gonna pay a lot for mine next year. All right, clean my glasses. Remember when I didn't wear glasses, guys? Remember when I just started having to dabble in glasses? I know. All right, so let's look at Home Assistant. First thing I want to show you is the Hobbit House Home Assistant because it's working and it's amazing. So you guys are okay to talk Hobbit House for a minute? Let's talk Hobbit House. Everybody likes getting Hobbit House updates. So Hobbit House. It's been rocky. Things have been rocky. This is the first time in a very long time that everything on this Home Assistant page for the Hobbit House has been working. This is the first time in a long time that it's all been working. And the biggest reason for that especially was because of my connection from the house to the pavilion where all the power stuff is, where the solar panels are, where the generator is, the battery packs, everything. It's about 300 feet or so away up the hill. When it was possible for you to lose your glasses. Yeah, now I can't lose them. I got them everywhere. They're everywhere. I look like Rene de Gourgy with these glasses. I don't know who that is. I remember that name. From when I was a kid. Who is that? You have to tell me who that is, Barry. I remember that name though. Anyways, so what was happening? Here's what was happening with my connection, and I spent a lot of time yesterday troubleshooting this. Finally got it sorted out. I had run a PoE line from the house up to the pavilion. Halfway through, I had to put a booster in, which was okay, and it was working fine. And then it goes up to the house. It goes into the room where the generator is. Important plot point there. In the room where the generator is, and then up to the upper room where there's another router and stuff up there. Well, the short story is that the wire came up through the floor into that generator room, and that was about all I had of wire right there. And I had to make a splice right there. And I had spliced it with so I had to, that cable obviously was raw cable, and so I had to put a connector of some kind on the end of it. And I put a connector on that was one of those pretty easy to, you kind of pop the wires in, you don't have, it's not a crimped on connector. And then I just ran another cable up. Well, that room over the course of the last couple of years, before I routed the exhaust in a different way, because I've now routed the exhaust of the generator out of that room. But in the meantime, I had the exhaust from the generator blowing into that room. And it got really hot in that room. And I didn't realize how hot it got until I got up in there this past weekend and really started pulling stuff out. And it had melted. It had melted a lot of stuff. The connector that was making that connection with the internet up at the pavilion, it was all kinds of warped. And it was like tucked back away. Like I thought it was reasonably well protected, but it was not well protected, and it warped. And so what would happen prior to now is I could have internet connection up at the pavilion for a little while, and I could start the generator or whatever, or see what was going on with the solar stuff. But then if the generator started and that room heated up, boom, fail. I lost internet up there completely. So yesterday I went up there and among other things that we fixed that connection. And so this is the first time in a very, very long time. First time in months that I've been able to see all of the stuff with the solar and everything else. And the first time in, well, ever, really. So maybe 3 years that I've been able to turn on the generator and not have all of my connections to the internet go pooey. So that's a big deal. That's a big deal, and really, really grateful for that. Now, you want to hear the downsides? You want to hear some bad stuff about the Hobbit house? So downsides on the Hobbit house, my geothermal, you see how I'm using a lot of power, right? But I'm not using a lot of geothermal. It's not coming from the geothermal heater. It is coming from, and now's a good enough time to do this. Let's just go to, I guess let me go back here and we'll do this the new way, right? Where we can go, I think it's backup. Yeah, here we go. Backup radiant floor heater, minute average. Yeah. There she is. Look at this. 4,000 watts. So what's happened is I've had to use the backup radiant heater because, once again, something fried inside my geothermal heat pump. Last time that happened, it cost me about $4,000. So I'm hoping it's not that bad this time, but it's definitely bad in there again. I could see smoke, and I looked at it. Stopped working about 2 weeks ago. It stopped working, and I didn't know why. And everything else seemed to be fine. Like my relay was working, everything was okay, but for some reason the geothermal was just not using power, and the house was not staying warm. So when we went up there and I opened it up, my heart just kind of sank. I saw, black smoke, or not black smoke, but like I could see where the smoke had been, right? So you asked, where did I release the magic smoke, or am I going to release the magic smoke? It was released from my geothermal heat pump up at the Hobbit house. When I was poking around in there, I wonder if I can see the pictures. Actually, I think I can. You guys want to see the post-mortem pictures on that? Let's see if I can pull those up. I should be able to. What I saw when I looked inside there was actually a it was a ground wire, and again, this wasn't me. Not that I don't do stupid wiring things, but there was a ground wire that had been positioned very close to a 120 volt wire, and they had touched, because they were touching when I opened it up. I could see it, and what bothered me was bad spot to release the magic smoke bomb. What bothered me was it didn't trip the breaker. There's a fuse in there. It didn't blow the fuse. It just fried this board. And I'm like, doggone it, man. Like, let's design this better. Like, we got breakers, we got fuses. Like, if we need more fuses, let's get more fuses. But let's not destroy the board every time especially if it's gonna, if we're gonna have this kind of thing, which now is my second time in 4 years of having this thing explode on me. Let's see if we can pull up some pictures here. I'm pretty sure it backed it up because I saw today Photo Station. Yeah. Oh, here, you guys we can share this. I don't mind. I don't think I have any pictures in here. Lost all my progress because I got a new PC. All my sequences, audio, and files were deleted. No! Vortex, no! Oh my gosh. Really? Like, did your old one, like, get damaged? And you couldn't get this stuff off? Oh my gosh, dude, I feel horrible for you. I know how much time I've spent on just a few little sequences. That just makes me sick to think you lost all that. Oh my gosh, dude, I am so sorry. Oh, maybe it's... I want to see, where's some of the... These are really old pictures. How do I need to arrange this in a different order. End of service notice? Yeah, these are old pictures. There we go. Ah, this I think July. No, that's not it. Folders, public, daddy, Dr. Z's 2. That's my phone. And recents. Yep, there we go. Okay, cool. Got him. Got him. So here, right here, I'll show you this. This is the ground wire that was touching this wire right here. And if you look, so this wire, oh, it's purple. Where's that going? Well, look down here. This is connected to this, which is black. It was black. Now it's been smoked. The other one was white. So this is coming, and it's the way, I don't know how they wired it inside, but they had this piece of Romex inside for this 120 volt wire. And so they just used this bare ground wire. And I wish it wouldn't have been a bare ground wire. Like, why have a bare ground wire inside of this box when you've got, a hot wire that close to it? Like, use an insulated ground wire, for goodness sakes. So anyways, that is where I think the problem occurred. And I'm guessing that it was just the thing vibrates a little bit, and I think it just got closer and closer and closer, and finally it just touched. And then went poof. And you can kind of see this little bit of black stranding. You kind of see a little bit here. You can kind of see a little bit of the black smoke over here. You can see this little bit of black stuff up here. This wire here is black. This wire here is black. So you can see where some of these things, oops, that's a different problem. We'll get to talk about that in a minute. So then here you can see, that's that connector I was showing you. Well, actually it's up here. The connector I was showing you is up here. But this is what happened down here, like poof. You can see all this smoked. This wire was blue. It's now black. The back of the PCB didn't look bad, but I'm expecting that that's where the problem is. I'm hoping that it's something else, maybe easier to fix. Maybe there's a wire that got disconnected that I couldn't sort out, that where the wire became the fuse. I don't know. But like, why, man? Why? I did actually think there might have been nothing a little bit of hot glue can't fix. Yeah. Second, because I think there might have been something else on there. What is this? Oh yeah, no, that was actually, that's okay. That's funny. We'll put that back out here. Because that's funny. Okay, so I showed you that. So yeah, so now we've got to have the geothermal guy come back out. Here's the picture that shows the whole thing. So here's where the ground wire was. Here's where that purple wire was. And that's what those two were touching. And then this was where the poof happened. So now we got to have that guy come out. And in the meantime, instead of that, we're using the backup heater, which is basically just a big water heater, which, as you can imagine, off the grid is a horrible thing. But whatever, it's fine. But right now, as of the last few days, we're getting plenty of solar creation. So that's great. So the batteries are charging. So this heater can now use its 4,000 watts instead of 2,000, which is what this does. So the geothermal thing, when the geothermal heater is running, it uses about 2,000 watts, and it heats the house faster than the backup heat does. That's what I've noticed. The backup heat has not been heating the house very fast. This is the line that shows how the house has been heating with the backup heater. It's not great. It's not been great. It's trending up, but it's going to take like a week to get it back up into the 60s. So where the geothermal one, when it did it, it got that water hot fast. And what I was doing before this all exploded a week or so ago was when the sun was up, the geothermal heater came on and it heated the house. And then at night, when the sun was down, the geothermal shut off and the house cooled down a little bit, but not terrible. It was still high 60s in the house. And then the heat would kick back on in the day. And so just with that geothermal and the sun, I wasn't running the generator or anything. Now I have to run the generator. So right now, we're not running the generator for this moment because we're getting plenty of sun. But a few more hours, the sun's going to stop. And as you can see, I still have plenty of work to do to get the house warmed up. So I'm going to have to keep running this backup heater all through the night. And at 4,000 watts, I've got maybe, gosh, if everything was perfect, I might get maybe 10 hours. Probably, I shouldn't even say 10 hours. It's probably more like 8 hours of battery. So that's not enough to get through the night in the winter or even in the spring, because the night is longer than that. So I will have to run the generator for a little while again tonight, and that's fine. It just costs money to run the generator and makes noise, but it's okay. Then let me tell you the other thing. Go back to these pictures for a second. Now let me tell you the other problem that I have is one of my inverters. So not only am I running this backup heater now at 4,000 whatever watts, but I'm only running on one inverter. So I had 2 inverters up there. They were each rated like 4,700 watts with a max of like 5,000 for a short period of time. One of them is not inverting. I don't know why, but this is the message that it's giving me. And I couldn't reset it. I couldn't find anything to change or to fix. I don't know what this code means. So I'm running on one inverter that is rated for 4,700 watts, and I'm using 4,500 watts. That's bad. That's bad. I mean, that poor inverter is doing everything it possibly can constantly, and I run the risk of going from 2 inverters to 1 inverter to no inverters if I have to continue to do this. So my tasks tomorrow are going to be to call somebody to come out and try and fix, first of all, the geothermal, obviously, and also figure out what's wrong with that inverter and potentially get a new one. So sad days. This down here, I'm not going to really blow it up and show it to you or anything, but that was the reason I kind of pulled it off to the side. I was like, oh, that's a little private stuff, but what it is, I don't mind sharing with you guys. We're friends. None of you. Well, actually, if you want to take out a life insurance policy on me, that's probably a good idea. So a couple weeks ago, after the last stream, in the middle of a whole lot of stuff going on in life, and life has stuff. You guys have all had stuff. We have stuff. My stuff's no bigger or worse than anybody's stuff. We all have stuff. But in the middle of some stuff, we had a day. We were up at the Hobbit house trying to sort some things out, and I had something going wrong with my heart, and it was pounding, but my pulse was not regular. I'm a physician. My wife's a nurse. She's listening to my heart, and she can feel my chest is just going like, blah. But then you feel the pulse, and the pulse is like, it's not just slower. It's like irregular. It's like boom, 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 and then it stopped, and then boom, boom, boom. And I felt freaking horrible. Laid down for a couple hours, finally went away. And that was, I don't get scared. I'm not scared to die. Dying's okay. But, I'm not ready. I certainly don't want, something awful to happen. But, anyways, the diagnosis right now is SVT. So it's just supraventricular tachycardia. I think what I was having was some AFib, but we'll see. My dad's got a long history of AFib. The reason that matters is because this is now a caffeine-free diet instead of Dr. Pepper, which is, I know you guys know my love for Dr. Pepper, so you can imagine how I feel without any. I haven't had any Dr. Pepper in a few weeks now. I'm still trying to convince myself it's not Dr. Pepper, but for right now, the primary care doc said no more caffeine, and I still got to go see a cardiologist to see if I can get the caffeine or not. But when it sounded like AFib, what scared me was my primary doc said if that happened again, I'd have to be on blood thinners, and I take too many risks to be on blood thinners. I'm not like a crazy sports person, but I climb on roofs, I climb on ladders, I get under the hoods and under the cars, and I just don't want to be on blood thinners. I bunk my head all the time. I hit my legs on things. I bash my knuckles. I do not want to be on blood thinners. So if giving up Dr. Pepper means no blood thinners for a while, then that's great. If eventually I have to go on blood thinners, then screw it. I'm going back to Dr. Pepper. But for now, if I can stave it off for a little while and not have to be on blood thinners for a while longer, then I'm going to be giving up my Dr. Pepper. You have AFib? Metoprolol does the work for you. Awesome, sir. Good enough. That's great. I wouldn't mind, like, if it happened occasionally, and if I felt crappy like I felt that day, and I just laid down for a while and then it went away, I'd be fine. No big deal. I'd keep drinking Dr. Pepper. I wouldn't really worry about it. It's being on the blood thinners that I don't want to be on. I don't really want to do that. I've just seen too many people get, and I of course see the extremes, right? I see people that come in because they bonked their head, they fell or something hits them in the head and they get like an intracranial hemorrhage because they're on blood thinners. And that's the dangerous thing. They change a light bulb and slip off the ladder and hit their head. Well, not on blood thinners, you might have a bruise. On blood thinners, it might be life threatening and you're going to be in a problem. Yeah, might get on some beta blockers. I probably need something for blood pressure too, because I've been checking my blood pressure every day and it's too high. I haven't been exercising. Like life's, too many priorities, too many fun things to do in life, and not doing the things maybe to extend the time that I have to do things. So I gotta refocus on that a bit. But anyways, enough about me. Enough about all that. Dad, late 70s, was on blood thinners for a bit. He randomly finds blood because he bumps his arm on the wall. Yeah. My dad, so here's scary. My dad had AFib. He's had ablations and things now, and I think he's cured of it. But he was on blood thinners. This was back when they were doing Coumadin all the time. Like everybody's on Coumadin. Now they have better blood thinners that are a little more effective, and they have a lower likelihood of getting you into a dangerous range. When I had 40 and Bart started to fight me, yeah. I should see a doctor. That's what my wife said. She's very funny. I need to go to a real doctor. Anyway, so my dad was on blood thinners, and then he got off them. And I don't remember why. I think maybe because his AFib was mostly fixed or something. I don't remember. He got off them he was off them for about 3 months, and then he had a stroke. Fortunately, it was transient, and he didn't have any residual effects at all. But when it first happened, I mean, we were all obviously mortified. We were scared, and he couldn't talk, he couldn't move one side of his body, and all that. And my kids are still too young to have to deal with that. You get older, and you recognize that that's going to happen to your parents, but not yet. So we're not messing around. Like if I have to have blood thinners, I'll do it, but I'm trying to not have any more AFib, so I don't have to. All right, boy, we're really talking about electronics and home automation. We're going down some crazy rabbit holes today. What the heck? Oh, is this the one? What? Nope, not this one. This one. Okay. Losing my buttons. You guys want to see? We can talk about whatever else you want to talk about. Oh, I know why we were going here. So sorry, getting distracted, getting way too distracted.
Huh?
Yeah. It's a free flow. We're doing freeform. We're doing freeform streaming today. So we went here to look at this because I wanted to show you the stuff from the Apollo in my home assistant. So that's this one. Does Apollo have a sensor for AFib? No, but I have one. You want to see it? I doubt anybody would care enough, but if you, I know you guys in the past have been pretty astute on like zooming in and finding things on my streams that I slip. So if you were to go back to those pictures and zoom in, what those pictures are is the result of the halter monitor that I had to wear for a few days that showed the SVT. But because it didn't really catch AFib, and because I want to know what the bleep is going on, I bought this. And it was about $75. There's a bunch of different kinds. This is an EKG monitor. It's got nodes here, nodes here. If you just hold it, it basically runs like a 2-lead EKG, basically. And it's kind of cool because you can put it in different places. Like if you put it, say your right hand and then you put it here on your chest, it's going to look different. And if you put it down here on your side, it's going to look different. If you put it on, take it with this hand and put it somewhere else, it's going to look different. So there's instructions on there and ways you can do 6 different leads. But really, if you're having, if I'm having like another little tachycardic event and I just hold on to it like this, because I know I can read EKGs well enough, I can say, oh, I'm having a regular rhythm, or oh, I'm having a tachycardia or AFib. I could see on this enough to let me know that, okay, I need to go see somebody, right? This is me shaking my leg. It's going to be really sensitive, so you got to hold still. Anyway, so that's a pretty cool little gadget. Does not sync with Home Assistant, thankfully. So you want one? Yeah, they're good. They're good. And then I've had this. This thing's pretty awesome too. Watch this. We're doing medical stuff today. I've wondered sometimes, is my stream ever going to turn into like a medical stream where I start talking about like the state of healthcare in the US or anything like that? But here we go. We're doing our... She's telling me to keep quiet and relax. We'll see what it says. I don't know what this cost. My wife bought this. She actually bought it for somebody else, but it's going to be high. It's just always been high. And that's what I was looking at today, John. I was looking at watches. Like, do I want an Apple Watch? Do I want a Pixel Watch? Do I want the Samsung Watch? Although, do I really want to know every second of the day what my heart rate is? I don't know. Probably it's not a bad idea. Yeah. That's high, man. I could probably deal with 145. I haven't seen my own. She talks to me too. Yeah. Yeah, I love China. Wish you a good health. Yeah, I haven't seen a diastolic pressure below 90 since I've been taking it for the last few weeks. Anyways, cobbled together an An-Penta-Deca example on the homepage. Nice. Let's check it out. There it is. Okay. Sweet. You know, you know what the natural progression here, Quindor, is to have, I don't know how it works exactly, but I know you can do an ESP home install from like your install page where you have your WLED installations. I think you can do that with these on there as well. But this is great. This is awesome. Thank you. So I'm going to go through here and see what's going on. Clock. So then you've got this as LED channels down to 15. Okay, awesome. And then makes monochromatic lights. Awesome. Awesome, awesome. Okay. And then, if you wanted to have 3-time RGB CCT output, then you change them to these. Okay. Awesome. Thank you. Man, that was quick. You're amazing. And here's the pink one. John Kuster is the pink one. you the pink one, John? Samsung Ultra Watch, it does AFib detection, really. Samsung was the cheapest one. I've been trying to convince my kids that we got to get off the iPhone crack. We got to get off the iPhone wagon, get on some Android. Just did mine, 142/70. 142/70 is better than 145/94. It's that diastolic pressure that gets you. Looked at it, but for one, always want to build my own configs anyway, so I don't complex for the default. Look more into it. No, I don't want to add to your plate. I don't want to add to your plate. Don't spend time on that over something else, because the other things that you do are more important. That's having the sketch like that is perfect. That gets me what I need for sure. All right, so let's look at, hey, Grammy, how you doing, man? Thanks for being here. Yes, I'm back. I am back. And last week I was almost about to stream. I wasn't feeling great, but I was about to stream. And then I came up here and Zach, who's home right now in between missions, he got home from Texas and he's going out to Illinois in a few months to do some singing and dancing. But he was up here and he'd been working on some stuff, and it was not, he hadn't saved it all and a bunch of stuff. And I was like, and he wasn't here. And I was like, I don't want to mess with his stuff. And because I wasn't feeling well, I decided to go to take a nap instead. Me and the missus went on a cruise the week before, and we were home, and I got a little sick coming home from the cruise. Not like GI sick, just like cold, you know. I was just like flu, cold, sick. All right, let's go in here and let's go look at what the Apollo, let's look at the Apollo Air. Let's look at the Apollo Air. Let's go look at the whole thing here. Yeah. So this is the Apollo Air, and this is all the stuff that it does. Did we do this already? I'm feeling like deja vu, but maybe not. Maybe not. So there's obviously an RGB light in there. Pretty bright one. And it's an RGB light, so if you can adjust it in Home Assistant however you want. You can turn it dimmer, you can make it colors. You can have it run an effect. The only effects they do are slow pulse and fast pulse. That's what they built in. This is an ESP home sketch, but pretty cool that you can do that and set up automations. They probably have some examples, but anybody who's buying this is probably going to be able to figure that out on their own to be able to set it to alert like that. Does it have a siren in it? I want to think it did. We're going to find out. Anyway, so there's an RGB light in there. Let's see what else we got here. It's detecting no ammonia, thank goodness. It's detecting no carbon monoxide, thank goodness. It's detecting some CO2, and it looks like it was detecting more CO2 last night and less now. Interesting. This might have been I don't know how much this is. I don't know if this is a lot of CO2 or not. I don't know what's a lot. But is this changing because of people being in the room and breathing it? My Air 1, I use the LED for mail. The mail is here detection. Nice, Jerry. The mail is here. It's supposed to be carbon monoxide warning or the mailbox, whichever, Yeah, I don't know how much CO2 is too much. I need a mail detector. What do you use for mail detector? I would get a, this is me, and you guys, I want to hear everybody's thoughts on this, but for Johnny, I would say like a Zigbee, just door sensor, and put it on the door of the mailbox. You could also put on, you could do a lot of different things. You could do a light sensor. The door sensor is going to be the easiest one. Just a magnetic reed switch kind of a thing is going to be the easiest thing. Could put a camera in there. That's always fun. Will be more people around. Oh, okay. Yeah, more when there's people around. So, that's good. Less than 1,000, caution. Greater than 2,000, open a window. Interesting. That's excellent. So even the fact that like the reason that it's gotten higher right here is probably like me, like people being in the house, and Zach might have been. Oh, Zach was probably in here a little while ago, and he breathes more than me, so he uses more CO2. And then this is me probably, and when I moved it, closer to me, and this is now me breathing versus a little while ago. And there was nobody was here, and then I was here. Well, I wasn't here at 4 a.m. Oh, I guess we had a couple more people in the house. It's just crazy. Is it really that good at detecting it all the way around? Door sensor sounds good enough. Yeah. I use a Sonoff with Reed's Air 1 on my mantle. Oh, cool. Yeah, I mean these are pretty good. They're not cheap, but man, it's important to have some of these things. So then it gives you some regular weather kinds of information too, right? Like this. I think this is just a barometric pressure, isn't it? You can detect methane. Now, do you guys remember? Some of you were around way back when, and I wanted to automate the bathroom, right? I wanted to automate the bathroom, and I was thinking, okay, I want to make sure like the kids wash their hands, or I want to know like if somebody creates some methane, then turn on the fan, in the room for a certain amount of time. I have not directly tested the methane sensor here, but I think that would be a pretty fun thing to do. Feeling a little childish, but I think detecting methane and making something happen in your house because of it sounds awesome. So putting one of these in the bathroom and the blinking red light and the fan coming on, I would have a good time with that. All right, nitrogen dioxide. And then this is parts, right? This is the size of different parts, size of different particles. So this is kind of, for like dust in the air or just bad air. We have a lot of bad air days here. Because we're just in this valley. And so if the wind doesn't blow through, and then we got a lot of cars and factories. And so if the wind doesn't blow through, we get a lot of haze and crap in the air. So I think that's what this is. These are just sizes of the particles that it detects. This is the humidity. Sense NOx. I'm not sure what that is. Not sure what sense NOx is. Gives a temperature reading. 22. It's probably right. What is my? That'd be interesting to compare what the what my other temperature sensor in the room here says. And then, fortunately, quality normal. Change to normal, abnormal, very abnormal. So when somebody was in here huffing and puffing, I wonder. No, we wouldn't get any. I wonder what happens if you have, because what we have in this room is a bunch of electronics that run all the time, and I wouldn't really. Man, we had an extremely abnormal period. Extremely abnormal. 4 hours ago. I wonder what was going on. Ring, ring. Thank you very much. Hey, what are we fixing today? Touch 3. My screen is too small. Thanks, dude. What do you want? Hey, Sir Goodenough, do you want unicorns or planes? Sir, unicorns or planes? Let's have some fun. I'm gonna play some unicorns and planes. So anyways, these are the air sensors. They're awesome. And I've got one now in the NOx is combustion exhaust measurements. Oh, nice. Nice. So we've got these in the store now. We have them with and without the CO2 sensors. Because these guys custom make these, or custom make, and they hand make them basically in Kentucky somewhere. Trains it is. And then we'll play the Sir Goodenough. We'll do the semi truck. And then we'll get old Jim out here. All right, and then of course, don't forget one more, Sir Goodenough. Thank you, sir. Thank you. Have you guys noticed that? I don't know if he's been streaming, but Frank is making a lot more social media posts. He's doing a lot more. I don't know if it's Instagram or what. I should follow a little bit closer. But I've just noticed that as I scroll through whatever feeds, I actually think I see it mostly on Facebook. just because that's where I go. But yeah, Frank's been a little more active. I know that since he's like a big deal in GitHub now. Do you know that? Have you guys been following that? Our own buddy Frank, he's a big deal GitHub guy as well now. Got a care package from Apollo with all their sensors. Good stuff. They are awesome. They are good stuff. They are good stuff. Johnny, when are you streaming? Is this a regular thing for you? Is this the pink one stream stuff too? There you go. There's the what are we fixing today stuff. Have you been streaming much, Sir Good Enough? I apologize, guys. You know, YouTube sucks anymore for a variety of reasons. I mean, it's still great for what it is, but if you got used to it a certain way, the way it is now is very different than the way it was 5 or 6 years ago. And it almost doesn't matter who you subscribe to. What matters is what you searched for recently, and that's it, or what you watched. I watched one video about how to fix a door handle on some car, and all of a sudden, all my feed is full of fixing door handles on cars. You know what I mean? You watch one thing that's a review of a game or a movie, and now your whole stream is full of nothing but reviews about games and movies. Answering questions with kids about something in their history class, and now all of a sudden everything in your feed is about history videos. Man, like, I subscribed to the people I want to see on a regular basis, and then let me just search every once in a while for the things that I'm just curious about at this moment, and then let that stuff go and keep feeding me the stuff. I have not gotten a suggested video from Rob or from Travis or from Sir Good Enough or from a lot of these guys. From Quindors I do get. I do still get Quindors. But I don't know if that's because I click on it through Discord or if I get it in my feed. I know I see them all the time. 144 videos. Don't stream. Not even posting videos. Still at 54,000 though. What's your channel, Johnny? I don't remember. Hey, Lawrence, happy Sunday. How you doing? 140 videos to see. So what else were we looking at on this? Reboot, startup. Oh, diagnostics. Okay, that's some of that stuff. Okay, great. Good deal. Good deal. So what other sensors do I have here? Oh, the temperature sensor too. Woohoo! Sir Good Enough's happy. Or Sir Good Enough, sorry, Quindor. All right, so I'm going to plug in this temperature sensor one. And now the temperature sensor, Johnny, you can tell me, and if you may be unsubbed. You're currently not subbed to me because I saw that. What? I've not unsubbed. That's impossible. Subscribed. There you go. Had me worried there for a minute. Had me worried. Oh, man. I look like a death trap of a table saw there, Sir Good Enough. How your fingers doing? Replace a washing machine, pump, Whirlpool front loader. There he is. There's our guy. Well, I'm subscribed. Don't let that, that would. YouTube does unsub people. Oh, does it? No, I'm not surprised. I do agree. I was talking to Travis about this when we were in Vegas at CES. That that's a, the subscribing thing is so much less important now. So much less important. I haven't gained very many subs in 2 years, maybe. It's been a while. Okay. We were going to do the temperature thing. So let's go look at this temperature thing. Now, you can tell me, Johnny, and some of the other guys that have used these temperature things, if I hope I didn't mess it up. But it was kind of intermittent a little bit for me here. I missed the start. How's everybody? And what did I miss? Hey, how's it going? Design it, build it. Design it, build it. James. See, I'm remembering. I'm remembering. A lot to keep track of in my brain. We talked about some crazy stuff, James. We talked about some crazy stuff. We talked about, what did we talk about? We went through a whole Hobbit house review on what's going on up there. You know what it might have been, Sir Goodenough? It might not have been logged into my account when you saw it and it was off. Because sometimes the boys are in their accounts or something like that. Might have been. Or I do have a Justin Naden account that's different than Dr. Z's. I don't post anything there or use it, but it's there. So that may have popped up one time or something like that. And I don't ever go to it, so maybe I wasn't subscribed on that one. So I was reviewing here for James. So we did a big Hobbit house review on some of the things that we've been fixing and have been going wrong up there. Talked about the An-Penta-Deca, big deal. An-Penta-Deca from Quindor, now another in the line of the An-Penta Mini, An-Penta Plus, and now the An-Penta-Deca. So as the name alludes, with the An-Penta-Deca, you can have up to 15 white RGB strips controlled off of one controller. Or, because it's Quindor and he's ridiculously amazing, you can also have some RGB strips and some regular white strips and some warm, cool white strips, all in a variety of configurations. It's only 15 if it's all just the white strips, because some of the others take up extra data lines, but the max total strips is 15, and then you can also combine some RGB and some two-tone whites and some regular whites. Pretty amazing, all in one controller. And what we talked about, it comes with WLED, but he also posted a ESP Home sketch that you can download and grab too. So, and then we've been talking about the Apollo sensors. Wait, maybe I spelled Apollo wrong. No. Alarm outside temp range. Nope, unavailable. So that's not the right one. Let's go to ESP Home. That's the way to find it. Where's integrations? Integrations. ESP Home. And then Apollo Air. Apollo multi-sensor. Is this one still plugged in? Yeah, it is. I don't know where this one is. Oh, it's hanging off my desk over there. So this is one of the Apollo multi-sensors. So this one is, which one is it? Actually, I turn it on and I can see where it is. Yep, there it is, hanging off my desk over there. This one does, which one is it? MSR. So this is the MSR. So the MSR sensor. I think mine that I have is MSR 1. And I think what they now have on their site is MSR 2. So like an upgrade. Yeah. So mine is an MSR 1. This is an MSR 2 is the newest one. So the ones I have in my store now are this MSR 2. And I believe, is this the one that does the multi-sensor, multi-target? Wait, multi-target. No, that's the MTR. The MTR, which I don't know that I have one that I've opened. But the MTR is a multi-target sensor. So, and it's interesting, like this, I would love to see how this thing works. Like they're showing, and is this an ESP? Is this like in Home Assistant that it's showing this? If it is, that is just ridiculously amazing. But it's showing, here's your sensor, and it's showing where two targets are moving around in the room. And that's the MTR1 sensor, which I have in the store for a very reasonable price. Is my price that much? It's probably the same. There's no tariffs and things from me. I'm sure they're paying them on the parts they're putting them together with, but for now they're doing it without. So yeah, this is another one. Okay, so sorry, distracted. Man, I am just. Whew. The squirrels today, they are all over the place. They are everywhere today. Oh, and it's almost 2 o'clock. Wow, it's been a great day. It's been a great stream. We still got about a half hour to go. I'm still gonna go for a little bit longer. So we were looking at, we were at Home Assistant. Yeah, we were at this Home Assistant, right? Okay, so we were looking at that sensor that I got hanging up over there, which is the MSR1, which does have some things like humidity, pressure, temperature. Now the temperature on that one is off, and I'm not sure. I probably need to adjust it here, but the times that I tried to do that, I tried a couple times, and I just need to read their instructions on how you do that and make it right. But I think I've got it adjusted way wrong. It looks like it's off by at least that much. But then I don't know how long before it updates. So we can kind of come back and see. The ESP temperature is 43. Yeah, and this is the Dallas temperature sensor, which there's not one plugged into it, so it's probably on the board. And it's detecting motion. You can see it's detecting. It goes back and forth between detecting and not detecting, but I think if, as far as the presence part of it, when it tries to decide is somebody there or not there, there's a pretty, man, look at just this. Everything is on here. They make everything available, which for me is good and bad, because if I start messing with all this, which is probably why like the temperature's off, because I probably messed with it before I knew what I was doing. Oh, I guess I could factory reset, which I probably need to do because I probably messed with it. But anyways, oh, it also does light sensors, right? It's a light sensor. So it's a light sensor, temperature and humidity sensor, CO2. This one does have CO2, so you can get CO2 monitors on these too. You can get CO2 sensing on them. It's about an extra $20 to get the CO2 sensor on there. But isn't that something? It correlates. Look how well that correlates. Remember what the Apollo Air sensor looked like? This shape looks the same. That's awesome. That's amazing. Oh, kitchen. Oh, no, that's the one down there. Bloop, bloop. Bosch, not a Dallas one-wire sensors. Sorry. Thank you very much, Dutch. Bosch BME 280, not a Dallas. Thank you very much. You can download their app and connect directly to it from, oh, the Apollo guys? The Apollo guys had an app? We didn't even talk about their app. They didn't even tell me. All the things we talked about, I don't even remember talking about their app at all. Let's get that. I need to get off the iPhone crack. We talked about that too today, James. Is it Apollo? Not Apollo Light. Apollo Digital. Apollo LED. Apollo Automation, I guess. We should look that up, though. We should look that up. I love that they do this too. Future product survey. These guys are amazing. They're like, what do you guys want us to make? And what should we make next? Oh, it's not their app. Well, whose app is it? Which app? Unless James was talking to somebody else. Oh my gosh, I missed a bunch of things. I missed Richard. Oh, no, greetings programs. I was going to say, Richard, you didn't say greetings programs. Yes, he did. That fits 15 channels. Holy hamburgers, been a while. I'm so glad you're here, Richard. Thank you. Just ordered a Deca. Still playing with my minis and plus. Awesome, Dale. Thank you. Going to be looking at the sensors soon. Right now I'm doing a temp light installation for a charity 5K race. Oh, cool. 12 Dig2Gos mixed with some Culp panel controllers for 4 5P displays, X lights and FFP. Rich Baker, that is amazing. That is amazing. Oh my gosh. Good for you. Let me know when you're doing stuff like that. I can donate some stuff too. Let me know. That's awesome. More pink LEDs. Okay, it's called HLK radar tool, made by the manufacturer of the wave sensor. Oh, and it'll detect the sensor and give you that information. HLK radar tool. Hey, next year when we're doing 12 streams of Christmas, Johnny, you might want to think about it. You might want to think about being one of our 12 streams. I'm going to download this HLK radar tool and see if it will connect. I'm very curious now. Very interested in this. Check out Discord. Oh, yes, thank you. Sorry. Discord was not up. Oh, there you go. You just sent it to me. Thank you. Oh. Can I show everybody, James, your sensor? Can I show them? You were trying to make a was that a smoke detector? You did smoke. Remember, you sent me a smoke detector a long time ago, didn't you? Please be a 12 streamer. Please, a member of the 12. That's probably blasphemous. But yes, you could be a member of our 12. Okay, so this is James's sensor that he's building that he said he let out the smoke and it set off the alarm. Is that what he says? Trying to make one with these 3 sensors in the shape of a smoke detector so you can get it from all directions. Oh, that's awesome. So this is the radar in all directions. Dude, I love it. I love that idea. Oh man. You know what we can talk about, and I know James, we talked about it a little bit. You mentioned something a month or so ago about doing some things together. I would be down for doing things together with people because I can't seem to complete a video on my own very fast. I mean, I haven't even finished. I finished the sphere really, but I haven't even finished the video about the sphere, and it's been like 2 months because I finish it and then I move on to something else. That's a genius idea. I love that. That's a genius idea. Let's see. I got a text from Zoe. I'm sure some of you guys also, like me, serve as your family's spam detector because they get messages and they're like, "Dad, is this real? Is this spam?" It's pretty easy to spot when it's real and when it's not. And so that was all that was. Zoe just sent me a text panicking, and it was spam. No big deal. All right, we're going to allow this thing to connect. We're going to allow it to do something else. Oh, and it detected it. Look at that. It detected it right off the bat. Please later. This is going to be very much Chinese. Oh, okay. Let's see if maybe they put the same password. Let's hope. Yes. Oh, sure enough. There it is. So there's the information from the sensor directly. Engineering mode successfully enabled. Look at that. So this is all the information that you can get from the sensor in there, in that radar detector over there. So stinking cool. I barely know anything, or maybe not very much at all, about these things. So let's see how much. I mean, it's going to detect. It's not going to detect movement like my arms moving as much as it's going to detect like me moving, right? Plus, I don't know, like this map, farthest gate. The way that I've got that sensor set, it's not a very good position to have it set in. It's like dangling off my desk. I'll probably take off engineering mode. I guess I'm not. It's going back and forth between a stationary and a moving target. I don't know what that's about. Huh. But it shows you how far away it is. Where's that? So that crosshair. Oh, this is mine. This isn't the one that has 2 people on it. So this one won't tell you. This will just tell you how far away you are from something. Firmware. Smaller the value, the closer the detection range, the higher the detection accuracy. Photosensitive. So cool. So cool. All right. Well, there you go. Thanks for sharing that, guys. I didn't know that. You can update the firmware if needed and set zones. Oh, there's a whole. It can detect you breathing. That's probably what it's detecting, is me breathing. So crazy. So awesome. I'm so far behind. So we were here. We're going to do one more thing, and then we can just take a minute. Yeah, you need the MTR for that. Yeah. Oh, the MTR for the 2 people to get the detection of where it is. Yeah. The temperature. We were going to look at the temperature sensor as the last one. I haven't ordered the temperature sensors from them for resale on my site yet, mostly because I hadn't moved any of the other things yet. But that was just, I'm sure, because I hadn't told anybody that I have them. So now you know. And then, we were going back. That's right. We were at ESP Home. Integrations. ESP Home. Let's go to these 32 devices and let's find the temperature sensor. So this is the battery temperature sensor. This is the regular one. Oh, the battery one should still be working because, duh, it's battery. So let's look at both of them. So we're going to look at this one first. And unavailable. Unavailable. Why does it say unavailable? It's possible that I screwed it up. The one they sent me. Messing with things. I think I probably pushed something. I probably need to factory reset it. Dude, their cases that they make for these things are 3D printed, but freaking good quality. Like ridiculously good quality. I can't even get it apart. It fits together so well. There it goes. And it doesn't break. Like you get it apart like that and it doesn't break. So I may need to reset this one because I don't know why. I mean, I know why it's unavailable now because I just unplugged it. Let's see. I plug it in. I don't see anything lighting up. I wonder if I might need to reflash it or something because I was monkeying with it and I may have done it. I may have done it damage. So we'll take that one off for now. We'll mess with the battery one. And the battery one goes to sleep as a good battery device should. But I think there's ways you can modulate how much it goes to sleep. But because with the battery one, yeah, here's all the battery stuff. So the battery one, you're only going to want it because it's battery. You're only going to want it to give you information every so often, right? To keep the battery from going out too fast. And right now I don't have a probe connected to it. Yeah, so I don't have a probe connected to it. But if you connect a probe to it, which you're going to want to connect a probe to it, I think, because so battery level, it gives you the battery voltage, the board humidity, and the board temperature, -11. So I was messing with the temperatures here too, and that I don't think it's -11. Thank you very much, sir. Good enough. Anyone use Baldric signal for crowd detection? Woo! Charity is Jasmine in Jacksonville, Florida. Baldric signal. Don't know what that is, but it sounds amazing. Oops. I think Zach's been messing with my mouse. Monitor and display your popularity using crowd detection. Oh, for applause and things? Estimate your crowd number and see your popular times to plan accordingly. To avoid any boom, 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 booms. Huh. That's awesome. I would definitely ask for don't forget to hit that thumbs up. Thank you, James. Thank you. That's interesting. That would be super cool. Counts Wi-Fi devices in range. Oh, awesome. Oh, interesting. Because everybody's going to have a Wi-Fi device. That's a given. So yeah, I need the board temperature thing here. Let's give us a refresh. And what might be happening right now, so it might not actually be connected. So what this is showing you is what it, yeah, see, it was disconnected 1 hour ago. And that's probably because it's only set to like boot up and send a, oh, now it's been uptime for 49 seconds. Yeah. Oh, sleep duration 12 hours. So I turn it on, it does this, and then 12 hours later it will do it again. So I mean, if it's a battery and you're just like, monitoring a freezer, or you're monitoring something you want the battery to last a really long time, that makes sense. But at least you can adjust it. But in order to get back in here now, I'd have to open it, because there's no communicating with it right now because it's asleep. And the only way to communicate, I wonder if I plug it in, if that would communicate. If I plug it in, does that cause it to reconnect? Yeah, it looks like it does. Give it a second to kind of boot. Or not. Maybe that doesn't do it. Maybe it needs to power off and then power back on. Yeah, nope, that didn't do it. So I probably have to take the battery out of it and put the battery back in it. And then you just set that. If you want it less than 12 hours, you got to set it right when you put the battery in it. So I'm going to take the battery out. And then when I put it back in, it'll probably reconnect. Yep, now it'll reconnect. Okay, there you go. So what I'm going to do right quick before it disconnects is I'm going to change this to like every hour. Just for me, for myself, because I'm fine to charge the battery. I'm playing with this more than, trying to get maximum battery life out of it. But here's all the things you can do. So same kinds of things. You can set an outside alarm temperature range. It's got the battery level, humidity, ice. Oh, 29. Okay, 29 on the board. ESP sensor, which is the same as that one. Firmware. Oh, there's a firmware update available. Okay. Probe. Oh, of course, there's an RGB light on it as well. Where'd it go? Is it already off? RGB light. On, off. No, that's not working. On, off. We have to do it in Home Assistant. I can see the RGB on the board. So let's go look at it in Home Assistant now. And then we'll try and turn the light on here. Oh, it already says it's already gone back to sleep. It like comes on for a second and it goes back to sleep. So I can't even get onto it and make changes fast enough. It goes back to sleep. Beginning sleep. So 14/16/07, and it came on. So it stays on for, what was that, like 20 seconds? Yeah, thank you, Jesse. You're right. It already went to sleep. There's a reset button to turn it out without removing the battery. Oh, thank you. So the reset will do it, and then it'll turn on for a few seconds. Hey, Streetwise Kid. Been a while. I've been good, dude. I've been good. If you go back and watch the stream, you can hear all about it. We talked about everything from my health and other weird things, but yeah, it's a good stream. Thanks. Glad to be back. Thanks for being here. I'm gonna see if this thing resets it now. Lets it start. Yep, it's already back. Okay, now it's back. Okay, so but how does it, like, if you've got it set to an automation? I'm curious about this, Jesse. If you've got it set to an automation, man, look at that. It barely comes on and it's starting to go back to sleep. It was on for how many seconds? It's on for just a second. Is this the back to sleep message? Beginning deep sleep. Saving one preference. That's probably my turn back on every hour. But if you've got, like, if it's going to go to sleep that often, how's it going to know when the light's supposed to come on? I guess it's just, yeah, you got to remember this is battery powered, right? So it's set up right now for maximum battery power, conservation. So if you wanted it to do other things, you'd have to configure it a little bit differently. Where's the sleep? Oh, I can do prevent sleep. Oh yeah, there you go. I'm going to prevent sleep for now, and then I will put the switch back on. There's a switch almost is to keep awake. Yeah, there probably is. I mean, that's what this one is, prevent sleep. Yep, yeah. Now it woke back up, and now I've got prevent sleep on, and I've got the sleep duration for 1 hour, and now I've got the RGB light turned on, and then the light turned back off. But now the RGB light can turn back on, and I can pulse it and stuff. Okay. Yeah, toggle it when it's awake. Yeah. So again, using a battery, that's what it was. It's just me getting used to using a battery powered device. I'm going to turn prevent sleep back off, but yeah, now I know how to do it. I don't want it to sleep duration. So the sleep goes back to sleep fast. I mean, it just wakes up, does its thing, and goes back to sleep. That's super good. Super good. You're talking about a battery powered temperature sensor, right? I mean, you want that. You want it to wake up and go to sleep really fast. I am so amazed at how these guys build their stuff. That's why I went to them and said, "Can I please have your stuff in my store, because you guys are just making awesome stuff, and I like awesome stuff." And they're good dudes. You know, they're good dudes. Okay, there we go. There it is. Back together. Oh, there they are. Hey. It only wakes for a second to communicate with homeless, and Wi-Fi is super battery hungry, so we have to limit the time it's awake. Hey, Trevor, how's it going? I've been singing your praises, dude. You guys are amazing. You guys are awesome. And I'm sorry, I'm just until now finally like letting everybody that comes and watches me know that I have those sensors. I had them on the store, and I think I've sold a couple, but I hadn't done anything. I hadn't been on YouTube or anything, just too many other things going on. Someday I'd love to tell you all about it. It's all ESP Home as well. All ESP Home, their stuff is, yeah. Oh, and hey, while you're here, Trevor, we were looking at the multi-target sensor, the MTR, and I was looking at this little this thing here, and was wondering how do we see this? Is this, because I haven't connected one to my own Home Assistant. Is this in ESP Home? Is this an Home Assistant graph that it shows, or is this on that radar? Because somebody was telling me about the radar app. We were messing around with the HLK radar app. So does that thing show up on the radar app, or is that did you guys set that up so that that's what shows up in ESP Home? Hey, Richard, I've been thinking I'd like to instrument my wood fire stove. I was wondering if Apollo temperature unit has a high temperature sensor I could attach to the outside of the stove. Ooh, it's a custom card for Home Assistant. Nice. So it's in Home Assistant. Dude, that's amazing. Oh my gosh. So you can tell where people are in the house. Oh my gosh. I need more free time. There's too many cool things in the world. Maybe when I'm a grandpa, which maybe won't be too long. I don't know. I got to get somebody married first, but that's why I got to stick around. I got 20 more years worth of stuff to do. 20 more years before I slow down. I think for who was asking, Richard, and I mean, we've got Jesse knows a lot, and Trevor obviously knows everything about the Apollo stuff. But I would bet that you could, what you probably need, Richard, is the Apollo sensor, and then just a sensor probe that is built for high temperatures. Because I think all it's given here is just a voltage, right? Is that right? About to be a grandpa? No way. Youngest is doing March 20th. Ah, wow, that's amazing. Congratulations. We're in the period where we've got a couple that are out of high school but still pretty young. We've got one that's going on 23. Got a girl that he really likes, so we're going there. Need to be a thermocouple. Thermocouple. We're looking at switching to the C6 and hope to get Zigbee or Matter working alongside Wi-Fi. You guys are amazing. Scroll to step 7. I don't know where. I don't know if sure he's talking to. Talking to me? Scroll to step 7. Whew. 1200 F range. Wow. All right, this is from James. James is sending this over. Oh, this is this is a card for the oh yeah, okay. This is the everything presence sensor but card, but probably same sensor. Like same actual radar sensor. Is just this question there, Sir Good, is there a thermocouple that will work with Apollo? So there you go, James. So James just poked. This is the card. This is the custom card, the Lovelace card that has the presence for the presence light. So this is Lewis, right? This is Lewis's sensor, but I'm sure that the same thing is there. Let's look and see what is in the YAML. So, but bar XY coordinates, which. So this is the card. So the card is going to be pulling in some entities. Change sensor name here. So here's your sensor. So here's var sensor name prefix equals. And so this is the sensor name that you need to put in there. So you need to set this up with the right names in there for the Apollo. Unless you have, Trevor, do you guys have that card? Is that a card that, do you have one that's all set? Oh, sorry. I used to have it set up so Sir Goodenough could push a button and it would tell me when I didn't have the right stream up or the right screen because I'm not always looking at it. Thermocouple and amp run through a Pi to monitor my pellet stove. There you go. Sir Goodenough and Richard, you guys get it going. Figure it out. Well, I think that picture. Oh, you do have it. Oh, great. Is it linked on here? It must be. You guys, I'm sure, have it here somewhere. What's in the box? Community support cases. Probably down here somewhere, right? We'll see if we can pull everybody up for sign off today. Zach will come probably. USB home assistant sensor. I'm sure Trevor's grabbing the link. Sent wiki for our card above. Oh, did you? Did it make it? Did you put it in the chat here? Maybe is it in the Discord chat and didn't just make it to the YouTube chat? Because I want to grab it. I want to post it. Live stream. You mean it scroll above here? It's probably here. Can't post URLs. Yeah, that's probably what it is. It might have blocked links. Yeah. Yep. We should make you a pod. There you go. Thank you, Jesse. There it is. Okay. You can break things at this point. You are now able to break things if you do not follow along exactly as shown in the tutorial. Oh boy. Install hacks, get Plotly and decluttering card inside hacks, and then go in and make this card. Raw configuration, do some changes. Okay, and that's how you get your card. And this and this and there. Okay, well, I'm going to do that, though. I'm going to totally do that. Oh, man, that's awesome. Thank you. So now, thank you, Jesse, for posting that. Now everybody's got it. So those of you that do have an MTR sensor, and again, I don't think I have it. If I have it, I'm not sure where I put it right now, because I did put one down in the living room or the kitchen, and that may be where it is. So awesome stuff. All right, hey guys, we are coming up on the 2-hour mark, and this has been a complete rambling squirrel fest of what the heck has been going on. I can break things. Since when did that ever stop me? Like never. I mean, if I can't break it, what? And I don't want to. I'm not just a destruction for destruction's sake, but if there's not the risk of potentially breaking it, why would I even try and play with it? Why do I even want it if I can't potentially push the limits and mess it up? That's how you configure your MTR. I haven't downloaded the MLK app even. Oh, awesome. Well, I'm going to, now I've got to put some added attention back on my sensors and make sure, like if I have one of those set up, I think the one that I have up at the Hobbit house actually is Lewis's sensor. But I want to get these Apollo ones set up and doing their business. And I think, Trevor, I was showing earlier, I think I might need to redo something with this, the plug-in temperature sensor. I don't know if I configured something wrong, or if I hit reset or did something to it, and I just need to mess with it because it wasn't showing up. I don't know why. I'm sure because it was working, and then today just now I was looking at it and it wasn't. It was showing as unavailable, and I don't know why. So I'll sort it out. But anyways. Awesome stuff, guys. Awesome stuff. All right. Let me know. Love the Squirrel Fests. I can do Squirrel Fests. Some of those times when it's like last Sunday when it's a Sunday and I could get on and stream, but I'm kind of like, what am I going to stream about? Like, these guys know everything. I can't teach these guys anything. They already know what's going on. What am I going to do? Just be up here and be a fool? Maybe that's what you want. All right. If that's what you want, I can do that. If you love the Squirrel Fests, I can do Squirrel Fests anytime. This is just me. So anytime. Okay, well, let's see if we can get the kids up for... Oh, you know what? I think the sign off... I think I may have even disabled the sign off button because nobody had been coming for so long. Let's see.
It's time for sign off. It's time for sign off.
What you hear, that's Home Assistant voice. That's Home Assistant voice making that announcement. That's Home Assistant voice making that announcement. And it's playing through my like Sony surround sound speakers in my office. Yes. We like the journey, not so much the destination. Thank you, Dutch. I need to remember that. Easy to flash from our wiki. Let me know if you need help. Thank you very much. I will sort it out, Trevor, and try not to bother you unless I need to. Come on up for sign off, monkeys.
What is this?
Oh, that's my temperature sensor, or my finger sensor. I took my blood pressure. We were doing this whole health thing today with everybody. Yeah, everybody's got to squeeze in behind me now. Dad's got to suck in his chubbies.
It's okay. I got ready.
There's Zach, whose head nobody ever sees. Ho, 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 green giant. We were doing my EKG thing and my blood pressure and everything.
Really?
Yeah. We had quite a fun stream. Okay, how do we want to sign off today?
What is this?
That's my blood pressure cuff. We did my blood pressure too. You are the captain of a crazy crew of which we are all members. Yes! Horror! Maybe we should sign off like pirates then, since I'm the captain of the crew.
Okay.
I don't know how to sign up like Captain. Okay, let's.
Yes, you do. You don't know how to talk like a pirate?
I can talk like a pirate.
Talking like pirates. Ready?
Talk like a pirate.
Talking like pirates. Ready? Okay.
As always, thanks for watching. Until next time.
Adios!
That's Harry Potter. Adiosa, not adiosa. Okay. See you guys. Thanks for being here.
Bye.
Bye.
I